Nullscape is a roguelike arcade collectathon type game where your goal is to collect little presents without dying. In this video we'll go over the game in general, my opinion on it, why you, yes you, should play the game yourself, and maybe some tips I can give out that might help you out if you decide to try out the game. Like I said before, this game is a collectathon, so your main goal is to be collecting things. Duh, it's a collectathon game. And it's unique in the way that when you collect the first set of presents, a second set will appear that are golden. This is when the second part of the game starts. It's known as the collapse, the rush, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. Now, with all the regular gifts you've collected, new golden ones appear and spawn in their place. These golden gifts are crucial to the success of your run and can probably make or break depending on how much you collect. And the golden gifts are used for upgrades during the shopping section of the game, or it can be used to reroll other stuff, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And when you beat around by going into the giant beacon where you spawn at, you'll be teleported back into like the little lobby area, hub area, whatever you want to call it, where you start the game from, where you'll either be able to shop or do other things that we'll talk about. But for now, upgrades that you can buy with your golden gifts, the price usually range depending on how good the item is. But the upgrades will either upgrade your mobility, like a double jump, extra speed. Later down the line, you can get like a protection barrier, like a weird like dash ending jump. It's kind of cool. Other items that you could buy would like increase your golden gift yield so you can get more, or just items that will passively help you gain some extra econ. But it isn't all sunshine and rainbows in this game. We gotta move on to the next part. Alright, this is the real meat and potatoes of the game. The enemies / curses in this game you get to pick are pretty unique, all respectively, and it's cool because you get to pick your own, you get to pick your poison, you know, you get to pick what you go up against. So if you really don't like an enemy or a curse, you should not pick it. Or you can also re-roll using golden gifts. You can also do that at the shop, forgot to mention that. But types of enemies you can choose, like Mart, the like immortal snail type enemy that's slow but could mess you up later down the line, or like the bell that if you hit it rings and it like messes with your screen. And there's another enemy called like the skinwalker where it'll mimic every movement you do, like kind of trailing behind. It's a little scary, but it's scary at first when you're like new to the game, but it gets it's kind of like a nothing burger when you're like used to it. Alright, on to curses. So curses can either like buff existing entities you already have. One makes Mark kind of like bounce around like a DVD logo, or like making the skinwalker be closer to you, so like the chase from it is like a little bit more faster. Maybe fragile gifts where you get I think it's 70% more golden gift yield, but the collapse is faster. So it's not that bad. I honestly think it's pretty good, even though it's a curse. I don't want to go over, you know, every enemy because I want you to play the game. Maybe in like another like follow-up video. Not only are there curses and monsters, there's trip mines. So trip mines appear after level 5. Oh my no, it's on level 5. Sorry. They start spawning on like the same path as the gifts do. So you have to start paying attention and making sure you're not hitting any trip mines, or else, you know, you die. The game can get pretty overwhelming, especially in solo runs, the longer you go, since the longer you go, the more things kind of stack on each other, plus like curses. But it's not all that bad because you get upgrades and whatever. It can still be a little challenging, but I think it's a fun experience when you have those later game movement items. Anyways, on to the next part. While I'm no super OG to the game, I picked it up maybe a few weeks ago with a friend, but I think I've logged around like 41 hours, and I've honestly had a ton of fun. And the original soundtrack, the soundtrack that's in the background, made for the game it's really good. It kind of fits the vibe. And with the introduction of the 2 new classes, the grappler and the charger, it makes the game really enjoyable and it's cool. And I can't wait to see more from the dev team, and I have high hopes for what they have in store. Now, for tips, honestly, if you're starting out, the biggest advice I can give you is getting used to the dive. Most new players, including myself when I started, I would just off myself and just dive off the edge. And aside from that, from the dive, I guess the movement as well. I guess it's kind of the same thing, but getting used to the game's movement will help in the long term for sure. And honestly, once you're used to the game's movement, the game gets a lot more easier. You'll be able to handle monsters better. You know, a part of getting better at the game is getting used to the monsters, their gimmicks, how to, you know, counter them, which I could probably do a whole video on how to, you know, live from the monsters. Honestly, if you're starting out, choosing some of the harder enemies give you a better time learning the game, since, you know, you're kind of like beating down on yourself, but you slowly get better over and over. You know, you keep dying, but you know, you get better every time. They kind of forces you to get better, you know what I mean? So you die maybe to the skinwalker like 20 times or something, but the 21st time you lock in and suddenly you're a goat at the game and you get to like level 20 or something. You can play the game solo or multiplayer too. Solo is definitely more harder than multiplayer, so probably playing with a friend, like learning together, is good for sure. A lot of being good at the game is just like platforming skills, like getting used to the game, obviously, like I said, getting used to the movement, and just general game knowledge, like getting to know the enemies and stuff, which you kind of just pick up along the way. You kind of just learn that. Anyways, let's cut to the... I highly encourage you to check out this game if you haven't. It's a lot of fun. If the game is sounding like remotely interesting to you at all, I think it's definitely worth checking out. And you can freaking flex to your friends that it's super freaking niche Roblox game, like, guys, oh my god, I'm so good, I bet y'all could do this. And you're gonna be tough, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, this guy's tough, he knows freaking niche games, yo. And I will definitely link the game in the description, just so you can not have to search for it on Roblox. And if this does well, or if I want to, honestly, I can make like a more in-depth guide on how to play the game, going into curses, you know, what to do against certain monsters, how to outplay them, but that's for another time. That's it for me. This is the first video I scripted, so that's pretty tough. That's about it though, so subscribe if you liked the video. Come on, dude, please! Come on, dude, please!